there'll be night in the day. And everywhere the fairy lights wrestle with the winter's way. And a pilot will drop me down from the Christmas clouds. December 22, 23, 24, I can hear the angels sing. It was Christmas 1988. I had flown from New York to London to do press for The Sky and the Ground. After Claire's office closed for the holidays, we loaded up our little Renault 5 for the long drive from London to Fishguard in Wales. Then we took the ferry to Rosslare Harbour, Wexford. It was the first Christmas without my parents. Claire and I would breathe some life back into the family home, which had been empty since my father Jem had died that summer. I'd light a coal fire to keep us warm, and we'd live in the second floor sitting room overlooking Commercial Quay and the River Slaney. Claire's little Renault 5 was loaded with every conceivable necessity, like a case of white wine and even a portable TV. Necessities. A couple of miles beyond Rosslare Harbour, the road turns to bypass the village of Rosslare Strand, but I was in a festive mood and excited by Claire's first visit to Wexford, so I suggested we drive through the village, because that was where my parents used to rent a hut for the month of August. As Claire drove past the seaside homes and chalets with silhouetted palm trees cutting into the Christmas sky, I shared memories with her. I grew up by the river. It lived across the road from us on the quay, where it flowed into the Irish Sea. We lived at number 2 Commercial Quay, the first house you see when you cross the bridge into Wexford town. It's a wine bar now called Corkbuzz. Upstairs in the sitting room, I had often peeked past the curtains at the sea's commotion. My mother knitting by the fire, my dad still in his blue overalls from the factory, by his side a sofa full of sisters and maybe a boarder or a brother or two. My mother Molly put our house by the river to every commercial use she could muster. On the ground floor was her shop, and because there was 3 floors and 5 bedrooms, she put them to use for paying guests, bed and breakfast, and long-term boarders. If ever there was a major event in town that drew in a rash of visitors, she would fill the shop floor with long tables and put a sign out saying, "Tea and sandwiches served all day." From my bedroom on the 3rd floor, I'd awaken to the seagulls' yelps as they circled the Dutch coal boats fighting over morning slop. The seagulls were my pre-alarm. They had little effect on me other than to prepare my ears for my mother's wake-up call, which would soon follow. Chaos is 8:20. The real alarm. 10 minutes later, over the rattling of Delph on its way to the sitting room to serve breakfast to a boarder, my mother would call again, but in a more civilised tone, not to shock the paying guests. "Pierce, this is my last time calling, mind you. You have to open that shop." That was my post alarm. I was supposed to be downstairs to open Recfo, our record and photography shop, at 9 o'clock sharp. It didn't matter that there was no customers until 10. At the earliest. My mother didn't fool around with that kind of stuff. I used to sit in that shop, suspended by a heartfelt song. You were out somewhere, being admired,